usually the time of the year we might see a couple of severe storms in the eastern part of the state, but nothing like that for us today as we continue to be on the dry side, continuing to deal with this drought. And with all these dry conditions and the winds that are going to be cranking up, we do have some fire concerns, especially over the northern portion of the state, because we may get a couple of dry lightning strikes here. And it has been very dry in areas like Red River. So far this season, they have gotten 1.38 inches of rainfall. They should see well over 3 inches of rainfall to this point just for the past couple of months. So we are well below average as far as precip goes, and with temperatures in the 70s, winds gusting over 45 miles per hour this afternoon, low relative humidities. That's going to be a really bad mix, and you add on top of that the fact that we may get a couple of storms with little to no precip, just those dry lightning strikes. We could be looking at a serious situation. So the northern portion of the state, somewhere to really monitor throughout the afternoon hours. Here's a look at Taos and their webcam in HD, where we do have quite a few clouds forming through the late morning hours, and we'll continue to see some of those clouds through the afternoon as we try to get a couple of storms going across the north. For the metro, we are seeing just a few clouds out there, not any storms in the central or southern portions of the state for this afternoon, but it will be warm. 75 degrees the current temperature with a west wind at 17 miles per hour. We're in the 60s across the northern mountains, 64 for Alamosa, 63 in Taos, 66 in Los Alamos. Starting to crank up the heat once again this afternoon across the east. We're at 89 degrees in Tucumcari, 88 for Roswell, and already up to 90 degrees in Carlsbad. Highs today on their way well into the 90s, in fact near 100 for a few locations once again this afternoon. Winds will be gusty, and they've already starting to elevate through the noon hours. 43 mile per hour wind gusts for Tucumcari, 31 in Las Vegas as well as Santa Fe. Down to the south, we're looking at wind gusts anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour, even up to 32 in Carlsbad and 36 in Alamogordo, and we'll continue to see those winds crank up throughout the rest of the afternoon hours, especially for the central part of the state where we'll see some of the stronger winds. And then into tomorrow, we'll start to see those winds come down across much of the state. It'll still be breezy, but the highest winds will be focused across the northern mountains and into the northeastern part of the state. Then we'll continue to start to see those winds trend down into Friday and eventually into the weekend as well. So we will start to see that fire danger go down a little bit, but it will remain high throughout much of the week. Here's a look at the satellite and radar, where we are getting some showers over Colorado. We'll try to get a couple of storms going over the northern mountains, but precip chances will be slim to none as that storm system continues to move to our north. We'll be looking at mainly the wind and the dry conditions throughout the afternoon and into tomorrow as that storm system departs. We'll continue with breezy conditions, but we will virtually see no chances of precip whatsoever, mainly staying dry and hot throughout tomorrow afternoon. And we will stay hot through Friday as well. But on the back end of the storm system, we will bring in a cold front, and that will help take the edge off the heat for the eastern part of the state, which will certainly be needed. Over southern Colorado, highs into the 60s this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. Could pick up a couple of spot storms through tomorrow. Then more sunshine with temperatures near 80 degrees by the weekend. Over the northwest, breezy with winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Highs into the 70s. We're back into the low 80s through the end of the week and eventually near 90 by the end of the weekend. Over the southwest, sunny and breezy. We'll be looking for temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. We're near 90 all the way through the start of the weekend. Over the southeast, winds will gust up to 35 miles per hour. It will be hot through the end of the week, near 100 on Friday, but then back into the 80s by the end of the weekend. Over the northeast, winds will gust to 45 miles per hour. Temperatures will stay on the warm side through the end of the week, but eventually back into the 70s by the weekend. Over the northern mountains, winds will gust up to 45 miles per hour. More sunshine for the end of the week as temperatures warm to near 80 degrees. East mountains, winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Blowing dust certainly a concern. The metro scene, winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour this afternoon with highs in the low to mid 80s, and will eventually be near 90 degrees by the end of the week and into the weekend as well. Maybe a chance of a couple of storms by early next week.
All right, John, thank you for that.